Hello, wonderful people. It's about time we're moving on, right? 4 class sessions with Chapter 7, The Bad News. That was quite enough. Well, here we go. Persuasive messages. Chapter 8 coming your way. Of course, you have a textbook right there, something to write on, something to write with, and here we go. The chapter starts on page 139. And the first thing we are going to learn about is asking for a favor, and that starts on page 151. Our textbook chapter has wonderful examples of the good, the bad, and the ugly. So make sure to take a peek at all these things. The question is, of course, what is persuasion and why do we need it? Well, because anytime we're asking somebody for anything having to do with time, energy, attention, and of course money, they have the option to say no, except in certain instances, of course. Therefore, we need to be persuasive. We need to be able to influence the person. And the question that hopefully is already on your mind is, well, why would anybody say yes to giving a favor or doing something that is actually in the interest of somebody else, right? So because they might be really interested in whatever it is you're doing, and or because there are benefits for others in there and they want to support that, of course there's always the what's in it for me, right? And finally, there's something about, okay, I am a professional, therefore I do this. So for me as a professor here, I do expect to write letters of recommendation, to complete surveys, to be available as a reference, etc. That is part of my job. Now, what about this one? Stop the video and read it. And hopefully you notice that this one uses the deductive or direct approach. Boom. Now, this one uses the inductive or indirect approach. That is the one that starts out with the what's in it for me. Go ahead, stop the video and read it. And before anything like writing happens, we need to be very clear on why are we writing, who are we writing to, and of course, what do we want them to do exactly. And if we're not clear, then they won't be clear. This is from our textbook, 153. So as you can see, there are the 3 parts, just 3 paragraphs. I recommend you take a good look at that in our textbook. And I would like to introduce you to another dead white guy. Here is Maslow, Abraham Maslow, very famous, and his framework, meaning it's a model that helps us understand something really big by making it a little bit smaller. And what Maslow addressed was the wants and needs part. That's why his framework is used in management training all over the world. It's called Maslow's hierarchy of needs. The basic idea is as follows, and maybe you already know something about this. If you have taken any kind of management class or psychology class, you probably have encountered. It states that we humans are motivated by the next thing we have not achieved yet, the next level we have not achieved yet. So starting here at the bottom, once I'm not hungry, I'm not thirsty, and I have a place to sleep, then I am motivated by being safe and having all the other basics. Once I have that and a home, you have a safe place to rest, then the next motivational level would be to have a circle of friends, family, and these kinds of things. Once you have that, then You want others to see that you have achieved things, that you are successful. And then finally, there's the self-actualization, and that is the one where it no longer really matters whether anybody notices what you're doing, because you have decided to do it no matter what. The extreme example, of course, is Mahatma Gandhi. So think about this. Where do you see yourself? Remember, wherever you are, that's where you're no longer motivated. So you want to get to the next one. For example, if you are really, really short on money, then you're probably motivated by this, because the money, I know money can't buy us love, but it sure can buy us feeling of safety and security. If you're not so worried about this, then you probably are motivated by wanting to be similar to your peers, or you want to be pleasing your parents, for example. So think about these things. And now comes your assignment. Look at this ad and write 1 or 2 paragraphs, and I'm going to open a Dropbox, on how this ad uses Maslow's hierarchy of needs to motivate people to purchase a Mac. See you Tuesday.